You guys have landed at a place called Supply Depot Gamma 29, which is the sort of local Imperial supply depot for this section of the Death World of Skrin. So it's a massive jungle-covered world currently under orc invasion. Your regiment has been brought on due to its specialty in handling orcs. And when you made landfall, your shuttle, or the shuttle carrying your squad, was shot down and managed to clip one of the walls before landing inside the compound. As the commissars worked on getting the rest of the men unloaded, you guys, led by a one-armed commissar and your sergeant, successfully beat off a number of greenskins that had taken the opening in the wall as an opportunity to get inside the base, and the attack in general was pushed back. The local regiment is the Brontian Long Knives. They are a more sort of close combat specialized regiment. A lot of them carry swords and a plethora of knives. I mean, obviously they're still issued las guns and such, but they seem to prefer their fighting up close and personal, as well as there's a small contingent of the planetary PDF whose equipment consists of more or less leather armor that's surprisingly lasgun proof, or at least resistant, and auto guns.
Close combat against orcs. Let's see how that goes.
Well, as you guys sort of, as the emergency situation fades away, and you guys start to work on various projects around the base, you notice that the long knives themselves are fairly, I don't say normal, but they're despite having been here, showing all the signs of having been here for a very long time. Dirty uniforms, almost everybody's walking wounded. Scars, patches, bandages. Everyone seems to be in a much better mood now that reinforcements have arrived. It's now, the general sense is that now that you guys have showed up, they stand a much better chance on fighting the orcs than they did before your arrival. The storage depot itself is fairly sizable. It contains not only administrative offices, a barracks, obviously a Medicaid, chapel, motor pool, space for the officers, and a sort of nondescript bunker entrance. It's a low, concrete, blocky type building with a heavily reinforced double-width hatch on the front. There's always two guards on post, usually just watching the door. Most of their job is not, most of their time is spent just on guard as they're supposed to be. They don't really expect anybody to be, attempting to pillage the storehouse. But other than that, it's a pretty standard little Imperial outpost. There is a recreation tent called the Hole. So it's about 25 meters per side. It's only open from 1 hour before sunset until 4 hours past sunset. It's only for the enlisted. And as you rapidly discover, all enlisted soldiers are provided with weekly chits that offer them 1 drink per night at the Hole. You notice that this is over the course of a few days, like we're talking 2 or 3 days, where you guys are kind of getting into the rhythm of being at this storage facility. You notice that there's always a commissar outside, just making sure everyone's got a valid shit and that, everyone's kind of behaving themselves and there's not going to be any bar brawling or anything like that.
Drinking in front of a commissar.
Well, drinking's
really set the
permitted.
relaxed atmosphere. A a commissar watching you as you drink. Be like, oh, okay, yeah, just keep your head down, Jets. Finish your drink and let's go.
No, he's outside. He's like the doorman.
Oh, fair.
So that's kind of it. It's we're gonna say it's been about 2 days since you landed. You guys have been assigned quarters, and you've sort of settled in over the past 48 hours. Is there anything specific that anybody wants to do immediately?
I'd like to ask some general questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Over the 2 days, have we found out more about the orc presence on the planet? Like how long they've been here, and so forth. Have we found any more general details about why we're actually here? Because I remember when we were landing, we weren't given much information.
Right. Give me...
Pulling out the big questions early.
Can you give me an inquiry check for that?
Let's find out. Any modifier?
Just +0.
Oh. I found out shit.
Yeah, you don't find out much. You tried your hand at asking some of the locals, but they're being a little standoffish with you about sort of the current situation. They basically tell you, like, well, why don't you just go ask the CO? Why are you bothering us?
You come trying to help people?
But yeah, so they're not really forthcoming with a whole lot of information. Anybody else?
Silence. We are still here, Chaplain, have a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull out a low stick and offer it to the company. Don't we have the like the imperial equivalent of cigarettes?
We do.
Low stakes.
Yeah.
Do you offer one to the commissar?
Yep, and I'm gonna light one myself.
What, like out at the bar? You guys are at the recreation tent, as it was so termed.
I thought we were in front of the recreation tent.
Well, right now it's kind of nebulous. Everyone's sort of miling about doing what they will. You've been doing for the past 48 hours. You've been either setting up in your barracks or being tasked out to work detail. Helping to rebuild the wall or cleaning up the base. Right now it's kind of
recovering from injury.
48 hours later, it's like a free hour or free time. Now that you're no longer on duty, as it were.
Yeah, Chaplain, you got fucked up last mission, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what you were doing. How much health did you have left after the end of the last mission?
Half. I was at 7 hit points from 13.
I completely forgot about that.
So, Chaplain, the Medicaid is available. It's basically 2 additional barracks huts that have been turned into more or less of a field hospital, fitting about a couple hundred beds, believe it or not. I'm assuming you're going to want to enter this field hospital for treatment?
Yes.
Awesome. So, as you enter, you can see just rows and rows and rows of injured guardsmen. The ones that are too injured to be up and walking around, it's not pretty, to say the least. The air is kind of filled with the cries of the wounded and the dying, and there's and there's sort of the soft hum and beeping of life support units that kind of fills this general space.
There's more wounded than there are outside, or no?
No, but there is. So everyone who's of the total garrison, everyone who you've seen up and fighting from the 4th Brontian are mostly walking wounded. So they have lacerations or bandages, stuff that they can basically staple together and send them back out. Here, they have taken some pretty severe casualties, and this is where most of them are kept. Either, awaiting treatment or having already been treating and convalescing. You notice on the floor, before you can really step any further, there's a black and white, black and yellow chevron sort of warning line. And there's an orderly who sort of motions at you to stop before you cross it. And he looks at you and goes, "What's wrong with you, soldier?"
My left leg was wounded. No, right leg was wounded, and my chest was wounded. Right. So I go like, I've got a bullet in my leg. I need to get that checked out, and somebody check out this, please, while I Kevlar vest.
Okay, so we're gonna place this as sort of just after getting off the shuttle, in just terms of chronology. So he motions you sort of towards a processing tent, and they more or less run like a full decontamination process on you before moving you into sort of a general surgery. The surgeons are very stressed out. They're doing what they can to keep up with the influx of wounded and other injured. But they do manage to get you stitched up pretty quick. And clean your wounds, stitch them together. I'm going to go ahead and have you restore, let's call it 4 wounds. I'm not going to put you back at full because that would require a few more days of rest.
Mm-hmm.
But they've sewn you back up pretty good and have more or less turned you around and kicked you out in the matter of a couple of hours. You do notice that there is actually, give me a... let's see here. Give me an awareness test.
No.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you were sort of hurriedly rushed through this whole process and sort of pushed out back through the front of the tent as they set about taking care of more injured patients. So you've got fresh bandages. They haven't given you anything for the pain since you'd managed to walk in there on your own. They figured you were tough enough to deal with it. And so you go through this whole process in a couple of hours, and they more or less put you right back to work.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Oh, who do we lose?
Havel's power went out, so he's going to check his breaker real quick and then come back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? But I got something else my character wants to do. But I'll let Ice go first.
Saint, this fucking game is cursed, dude. I swear.
We'll get there, man. It's all good. I'm keeping Havel up to date through messages to his phone.
Who had their cat turn off their computer while we were playing Death Watch? That
Yeah.
That was Chaplin, yeah.
He just
Happened
leaves.
twice.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah.
There's is there an armory or something in the camp that I can?
Oh yeah, dude. This is a supply depot. This is like a major. I don't want to say like a major outpost, but this is this is where you want to be if you want to requisition stuff. So do you want to go see the quartermaster?
My character was actually going to be doing something similar there, so he might actually run into Ice's character at the armory.
Well, you could both go together. If what are you guys attempting to do, just as a DM?
I'll let Ice set the scene and then I'll kind of intrude on.
Yeah, I was just gonna try and requisition some equipment.
Whereas Sergeant Varus not having much luck getting any information from people in the camp. The one thing he did notice was, as you said, that the Guardian that's stationed here, the Long Knives, is it?
The Brontian Long Knives.
Long Knives, yeah. He did notice a lot of sort of melee weapons here and there amongst the troop. And he's got a chainsaw. he doesn't know much about them, so he's going to head to the armory himself, just to, you know, see if he can find anything. He's got some time to kill, and ever thinking about his duty, he's going to see if he can do anything with his equipment. So what do we see here at this, you said it was the quartermaster where we're going to see?
Well, that's who you'd have to talk to. You got to get into the supply depot proper. Give me just a second here.
Varys is marching steadily towards said position.
I had a quick question. So, on my default equipment for medic, it says I start with an injector, but I don't start with anything in that injector, do I? Because I didn't see that I did.
Don't believe. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, though. Hang on. Yeah, I'm checking. Give me just a second. Sorry, I have to dig through this book. Yeah, correct. So you just have an injector. I don't think it includes any
Okay.
any medication or drugs or anything.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
All right. So do you both head down or head over to the supply depot together?
Not necessarily together. My character's just going to kind of wander over in that direction.
Okay. So let's go with, was that Ice that wanted to go and check it out?
Yeah.
All right, Ice. So you approach this sort of low, squat bunker building with the two guards outside. And it's a heavily reinforced double-wide door. It's actually big enough to fit two Lehman Russes side by side. There wouldn't be a whole lot of space left over, but it's about that width. What do you do?
Basically, I guess I look for what you said, the quartermaster?
Well, it's just two guards and this door right now.
Ah, so I'm outside currently?
Correct. You're outside.
Okay, I guess I walk up to the two guards and ask them if there's anywhere I'll be able to find a dose of any drugs for my injector.
One of them looks at you and goes, "You weren't issued any med. You know what? The quartermaster can sort you out." And he reaches behind him and he hits a button, and you hear sort of a loud grinding noise as these two heavily armored doors start to lower down into the ground. Inside, you see a more or less just a lift, with, like I said, space enough for about two tanks on it. And the guy mentioned, downstairs, mind the cordon, and I hope you have the paperwork ready.
At this point, this is, I guess, where Sergeant Varys is marching down towards the doorway. Evening, gentlemen. I'm looking for the quartermaster.
Oh, he's down in the depot, sir.
Excellent. Marches on toward, noticing Atty in uniform. Medic.
Hello, Sergeant.
What are you here for then?
It seems I wasn't issued any drugs for my injector. Not much help without it.
Cheap bastards as always. I need to get a recharge here on my clip. 36 rounds left. I noticed these long knives here. Bit of specialty in melee. Got a chainsword. See if they can look at that. I best be up to it then, eh?
Just so you guys know, any of your standard kit is always available. It's something that you can just get. You don't need to requisition any of it. Anything that's outside of that, however, is going to require a requisition roll.
Oh, the sergeant's looking for a specialist of sorts.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that, like, you know, if you need more mags or whatever, that's your standard issue kit. That's considered always available. You don't need to roll for.
Excellent. Well, that's one thing I'm going to be here for.
So as you guys enter, the doors seal, and then the massive platform begins to slowly rumble and descend. It's about 25 meters deep that you travel vertically before you see another set of armored doors that begin opening once the lift has stopped. And as they're lowering, you see that they're opening into a massive warehouse complex where just a quick inspection makes it gives you the impression that this space is much larger than the base above. You can hear the air circulation systems as they do what they can to keep the air in here breathable. There's plenty of forklifts driving around, servitors that are constantly moving equipment. Sorry, one second. There are on the floor. There is sort of a delineated pathway that is outlined with yellow and black chevrons, and as to your right is a what looks like an office with a bench outside for any waiting guardsmen. But the rest of the space has been, at least to your guardsman eyes, clearly marked as off limits.
I guess we can see why they don't want us to lose this particular installation. Varus kind of casually moves over to the waiting area. He's gonna check his privilege.
Just for funsies, give me a. You should have. Don't you guys have Forbidden Knowledge, Xenos?
We have Lore, Imperial Creed, Lore Imperium, Linguistics. Oh god. I've got Scholaristic Lore. Yeah, I don't see Forbidden Lore here, so it would have to be something that was added manually put in, which I don't have.
Under Scholastic, it's forbidden.
Pardon?
If you see under like the boxes under like all the Scholastic, like there's a bunch of boxes you can put. Then there's forbidden, and you can put boxes.
Yeah, but no subject matter.
Oh yeah, we don't have forbidden. We don't have forbidden.
So weird. Okay. Both Ice and Sarge, just give me an intelligence test.
Just +0.
Yeah, just +0.
This is bullshit. -5.6.
Awesome. So, Elric, just what you know of orcs and what they've done to your home planet and your experience fighting them, this would make one hell of a base of operations for them if they were ever able to take it. The dark is perfect for their the dark underground environment is perfect for their reproduction cycle, not to mention all of the equipment down here that they could reuse to suit their purpose.
That's what Varus was kind of hinting at when he said he can see why they wanted us to protect this installation.
So a man sticks his head out of the office and goes, "Well, when you two are done gawking, come in here and let's see your paper."
Varus marches up, back straight as a fucking line.
Alert follows. goes in behind him.
I'm marching. Varys is marching up with confidence. However, from my perspective, I don't know whether or not he has his papers or not. I'm assuming he does. It's not something I was considering until I was marching up there. So, hoping that Varys has his papers, he's going to go up there and present them. And who is he talking to at the moment? Is he
It's the quartermaster.
Oh, this
He's
is
wearing
the quartermaster.
his rank on his his uniform is spotless. Not only is it spotless, but he does have his sidearm is a very finely wrought plasma pistol that is kept on sort of an open holster.
So he outranks me by a fair margin.
Well, yeah, he is a CO. You are an NCO.
Okay. So.
So he looks at you, Sergeant. What is it?
I'm here for some casual replace clip. I'm recharged, and I have wondered. I'm looking for a melee specialist of sorts. I've noticed the long knives around here seem to have that as a specialty, and I'm looking for their specialist. If they have.
As a DM question, so what exactly do you want from the quartermaster?
I'm going to be trying to get some kind of upgrade to my chainsword. I don't know. See if they can do anything with it to give it some kind of bonus. I'm looking for freebies, is what I'm doing, DM.
Okay, well, they do have. There's a list of upgrades that you can get.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, hang on.
How much of a penalty or sorry, are we allowed to carry multiple weapons?
Yeah, just it's going to be within your weight.
Okay.
Bit of a question about weight, actually. Before we started, all the base gear we've got, it's actually quite heavy, and if you calculate up, it way outweighs what you can actually take.
Saint, it's page 188.
188. Okay, thank you.
Although there's not really a whole lot there, it's mostly for guns and stuff.
I was kind of hoping for some kind of fluffiness, maybe just a +1 on something. I don't know. I hope for some conversation with a specialist of sorts where I could maybe coax you into giving me a roll for some random upgrade. That was my plan, basically, if I'm going to be completely honest. But that was only because you mentioned the melee stuff, and I was looking over my character sheet and I saw the chainsword and I was like, melee regiment, might be able to do something with it. Because it's just a common chainsword. I'm on page 188 just now. I don't think there's anything for a chainsword.
Page 190 might be better for you.
Oh, okay.
It's weapon customization. Stuff like reinforced or sacred inscription,
Okay.
A custom grip which gives you +5 to any ballistic or weapon skill when wielding it.
That might be quite fancy, yeah. Well, I mean, Ice, what were you going to do? I'll have a quick gander through this so I don't hold things up too much.
Okay, I was just gonna try and get a dose of stim for my injector, and then I was also gonna see if I could maybe get a combat shotgun or something. But
What is the availability on stim? Just average?
it should be common. I have to go find it. Yeah, it's average, yeah.
Okay, do you know how to do a requisition roll?
No.
Okay. So you are going to give me a 1d100 roll, kind of like an ability check, but it starts with a base score of 10, and you are attempting to, with a bonus of, give me just. plus 30, so you're looking to roll under 40 total.
Okay.
There you go. So, the quartermaster kind of looks at you strangely and quickly punches something into his data slate, and a servo skull comes whizzing over through the door, carrying not one but 3 doses of stim. And he kind of scowls again at the paper. Bloody bureaucrats, not even sending medics with the proper medication. And that's that. That's he says, "Is there anything else, soldier?"
Which one is more scarce? I guess, is it scarce or very rare?
Let's see. It would be very rare. So it's in increasing difficulty. It starts at scarce, then goes to rare, very rare, extremely rare, near unique, and unique.
Okay.
What else were you trying to get?
I was gonna try and get a combat shotgun, but because that's it's scarce, but I might just.
You could try it again.
Alright, I'll just try it then. So what do I need to roll for that?
Just a 1d100, 1d100.
Definitely couldn't get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the quartermaster explains to you that they currently don't have any spare arms to issue at the moment.
That's fine, sir. I shall.
Sergeant?
How many? I've seen a few things here I'd like, basically. Am I only allowed to choose one?
Well, the quartermaster asked you again, are you looking for equipment?
I've got this here chainsword, and I was basically looking to see if there's anything I could do to it. I have thought about a reinforced grip, or I've got some materials from my home. I thought maybe inserting it somehow, or even a sacred inscription.
The expression on his face kind of changes as he looks at you. Can you give me a... Let me see here. Can you give me... Do you have a Knowledge Imperial Guard? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make you roll for this. I'm just going to tell you. Those customizations that you're looking at are not standard. They're not something that you can go and order. There's things that are done by guardsmen that are in the field. So you can't go into a quartermaster and request, like, hey, I'd like a custom grip on this. They don't do that kind of work.
Well,
that kind of work's performed by soldiers in the field. So he kind of looks at you and goes, is there anything wrong with your chainsword? Does it need to be fixed or replaced?
No, sir.
Very well then, Sergeant. You have a good day.
Less than entertained by his time here so far and the people he has met, the sergeant about turned and marches away to his quarters.
Alright, so as you guys return to the surface, you're met by a runner. A private from the Brontian Long Knives has been sent to gather you specifically and your squad to meet at the administration's building. Something about a new assignment.
Okay.
Before I move on, does anybody have anything else they want to do, or are we ready to get into like a mission briefing?
There was Havel. He just came back. He was going to be doing something at the tent, I believe. Are you back
right.
with us, Havel?
Yeah.
So you have your power back.
Yeah, it was like a brownout.
So what would you like to do, Havel? What's going on?
Well, I'd like to go up to the Commissar and offer him a low stick and light my own, and then ask him if... I'm not going to ask him anything, because he's a Commissar and he'll probably shoot me. I'm going to get him a low stick.
So you everyone gets this like hardcore like idea of commissars. They're like, "Oh, we're just gonna start murdering people." No, because that's not how you maintain morale. They're people. They're officers. You can talk to them. It's okay. Just
Sure.
don't be like, "Hey, you want to go do like space cocaine with me?" Like that would probably not be a good idea.
No, man, space cocaine is a big selling point.
Probably legal.
So yeah, the commissar goes, "Oh, thank you, soldier," and he takes his the glow stick from you and takes a drag off it as he's standing sort of outside of the mess tent, not the mess tent, sorry, the hole, the recreation tent. After a moment, he holds up a hand to his ear, and then looks over at you quizzically, and goes, "Are you 1 second, Hobble? What's your character's name?"
It is Osric.
He goes, "Are you Private Rec?"
Yes, sir.
Ah, well, it was a fortunate coincidence. You needed it at the administrator's offices. New assignment.
I roll my eyes and say, yes, sir.
So we're gonna gather everyone and we're gonna go into the mission briefing.
I'm just reading this now. The second we've got a second. Ah, shit, I should have done this, this bloody routine 20 plus trade armor test.
Well, you have to find someone to do it who has that skill. It's not something you can do untrained.
So initially I was trying to find some kind of melee specialist. I don't think we have anyone like that in our group who has that sort of skill. We had Rojas was the tech priest, but he's not here.
And my second character, who's the operator.
He'd be here somewhere, but yeah.
So as you guys are brought into the a briefing room, Sergeant, you notice it's just you, your comrade, obviously, and then the other 3 and their comrade. So a total of 11 people that are brought in. Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8. Sorry, 8. I can do math.
Yeah, my comrade, by the way, has been just in their quarters getting their shit sorted, as always. Aubrey is ever obsessive.
Sure. So as you're brought into this room, you see that your lieutenant and Captain Thuriel, who is a liaison officer from the local PDF, are in attendance. They're looking sort of down at a map, and the lieutenant looks up and goes, "Ah, gentlemen, welcome. Don't bother with the saluting or attention. We're going to get right down to business. Your performance during the landing has drawn quite a bit of attention to your squad. Now, it seems I need to do something about it. You know how I feel about that. You're being sent on a brief detached assignment. It involves a trip several hours away from the base, and I need you to look sharp and do your best. Remember who you're representing and be diligent. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but don't dawdle. You're needed back here as quickly as possible. Any questions before I dive into the details?
From me, sir. Varys kind of looks over the other people there. If anyone else has anything to add, now would be the time, gentlemen. That would be a no, sir.
Nope.
So the lieutenant starts explaining the objectives, and Captain Thuriel sort of gives you background information on the Death World's environment and other dangers. He starts by saying by noting that the target is a Promethium refinery located roughly 250 clicks through the jungle from the depot. As he does so, he brings a rough map onto the table, which shows sort of the direction and any major intervening terrain. 6 days ago, Imperial forces lost contact with the refinery. The circumstances of the loss are unknown, but as you could guess, we suspect Orc involvement. Sergeant, your squad is going to be in charge of traveling to the refinery, retaking it if necessary, and holding it until we're able to get reinforcements out to your position, if they're required.
And may I ask how many men will be given, sir?
He looks at you and goes, all of your men are assembled. Here, Sergeant.
How far away did you say it was again, sir?
250 kilometers. Unfortunately, due to the war conditions, there's going to be no air support or air transit that are currently available. All of our resources are tied up dealing with the greenskins. However, I am currently having my assistant, he notes to a scribe in the back who's busy vomiting paper, that has stuff written on it, he's putting together your mission assignment gear. And the first thing he notes is that, now, while I am certain that you all would be able to make a 250-kilometer hike on foot, my liaison officer Thuriel here ensures me that that would be a death sentence. So instead, we are assigning you a Chimera equipped with a long-range Voxcaster, an additional heavy bolter with 300 rounds of ammunition, 6 demolition charges, field rations for 2 weeks, and wet weather gear, as, after all, we are in a jungle.
The 211th, sir, is more than capable of making any journey through terrain on foot, but the transport is, of course, very much appreciated.
The liaison officer snorts sort of derisively. Says, Sergeant, you've never been on this world. You don't know what dangers lurk in the jungle.
I do believe, sir, that they are greenskins, and if the Atians do know anything, with all due respect, it is how to deal with greenskins. Hopefully, we will not disappoint, and I hope that our being chosen for this mission does not reflect poorly on us, and I assure you the 211th will represent to the fullest of our capability, sir.
Right then. Here's your requisition order. He gives you sort of a stack of papers. Off to the quartermaster with you, and expect you to leave immediately.
Hearing the quartermaster's name, the sergeant's lips kind of purses a little bit, and he goes, "Sir," and turns around and marches back towards the quartermaster.
Well, so that requires you to leave the building, go back down the chute, and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
This time, it's going to be the whole squad. Everybody's coming with.
Okay.
I kick Sergeant Verse in the back of the heel as he's walking to trip him up.
Yes, sir.
And I pretend like it was an accident.
He kind of carries on.
All
marching,
right,
but
so
veers to the
Now we
side
get
a
to
little bit.
do the fun part, which is, do you actually get the equipment you were assigned?
Oh, great. Okay. So, who would be the person in this base? How would I find someone who is mechanically capable on this base? Because there surely has to be someone here. They have their melee sort of capable. Is there any?
Give me 1 minute, guys.
I mean, statistically speaking, yes.
Are there
But
any kind of officer posts on
you've
the way
not
to
done any.
Are there any officer posts on the way to the quartermaster?
There is an officer, commanding officer, commissioned officer, dining hall, but you're not a commissioned officer.
Okay, I'll leave it. Just no, I'll have a think about it as we move. I'm determined to get me some melee upgrade. It'll be completely useless, but I'm gonna try it. I'll keep thinking.
By the way, I'm not well versed in guard lore. What's the stance looting other guards' dead bodies?
You don't get caught.
We have scavenger ability as light infantry.
Yes.
We'll say that. Your sergeant is aware of that. As the Atian Light Brigade, we have been in situations where we have had to be a little bit looty, but we're just careful not to do too much, because if you do it too much, you'll loot something you're not supposed to, and then you get called a heretic. So you just gotta be a bit careful.
All right. So who is gonna make the logistics roll?
What's that rolling off of?
Your logistics rating of 10, plus or minus different modifier.
Logistic rating. Is that based off any particular skill?
Nope, it just starts at 10
Okay. So no one will
as
have
a base.
I guess I will, if no one else wants to jump to it. If it makes no difference who does it, then I've got my finger on the button.
I mean, is there any way we can upgrade our Chimera to a Bane Wolf?
Oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing that's not a logistic roll, that's logic. Never mind, I don't see this.
Not a skill, you just have to roll a D100.
Ah, I see. What were you asking about the Chimera?
I was just saying, is there any possible way we could get it upgraded to a Bane Wolf?
Oh, is that the chem cannon one?
Yeah.
No, nobody, none of the regiments on this planet operate with that loadout.
Ah, damn.
You say it's just a D10 for logistic roll, yeah?
Oh no, it's a D100. Give me just a second.
Yep, no bother.
I'm double checking something because I know that since you're at a supply depot, you're supposed to get a bonus to these rolls.
I see. Then take all the time you want if it's about bonuses.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's not like, okay, now you got to cover 250 miles worth of Death World jungle on foot. Get fucked. You know?
Fuck you, man. The Attians would make it. Who are? The disclaimer: the Attians would not make it.
All right, so what we're going to go over is just real quick. So your objectives on this mission. Primary objective is to discover the fate of the Prometheum refinery and clear out any hostile forces that may still be present, and to hold it until Imperial reinforcements arrive. Your secondary objective would be to re-establish contact with any Imperial forces in the region. If anyone's left at the facility, as it were.
Second,
So
no, that's a
who
reestablish.
are we going to make the sergeant roll the requisition roll?
Yeah, I mean, I've got scholastic lore, if that helps at all, or
That's up to you guys. I just, if it goes poorly.
Well, it doesn't
It
really
goes
matter
poorly.
who rolls though.
Welcome to
gonna
life in the
fly.
guard.
If it helps, sorry. Go.
Have I been resupplied on ammo since the crash?
Yes. So part of this requisition is also getting all of your standard field kit. So anything that's on the standard list, meaning like, if you have a bolter, it comes with a heavy bolter, it comes with bolt gun shells and stuff. That stuff you don't have to test for. This is the mission assignment gear that we're testing.
Okay.
All right, somebody roll me a 1D100.
I will roll the D100. 32.
Okay, that is actually a pretty solid result.
Do I have
So
any
it's
skills? Do I have any skills that might influence this at all, like Imperial Creed or Imperium or Scholastic Lore?
Not for mission gear, but later maybe.
Okay.
You also earn sort of logistics rating as you do more missions. Basically, as your squad becomes more well known to command and to the rest of the forces, you're more likely to get stuff. They're not just going to start handing over good shit to sort of a no-name guard regiment.
What did that roll achieve?
Yeah, now I am trying to find out what is missing. Okay, someone roll me a 1d5.
Someone else take this.
Varys, roll me a 1d5.
Me, okay. Ah, shit, it's not there in the auto rolls. Is it just /roll 1?
Yeah, just /roll 1d5.
4.
Okay, now roll me a 1d100. Gotcha. All right. So it takes about an hour for them to assemble everything on the requisition order, and when they come to, they pull up in a. This is armed with a front-mounted heavy bolter, and the turret is actually equipped with an autocannon.
Were we assigned a
That's
driver?
nice.
No, you were not.
I will be driving.
A weapons specialist.
By the way, what class is Madman Chaplain?
I'm a heavy gunner.
All right, so you find that the additional heavy bolter has been supplied. The weather gear has been supplied. Obviously, the Chimera is there, and the debt charges are there. However, missing from the inventory is that 2 weeks of field rations. Instead, inside the Chimera, you find a crate of 20 suits of survival clothing designed for a winter environment. You know, a low temperature environment. There is no supply of food that has come with this Chimera.
Well,
And
gentlemen, this, I imagine, will prove to be some form of issue.
and since we're on the jungle planet,
Where are we being given this stuff in the base?
You are currently in sort of the depot. They've loaded the Chimera onto the ramp that you take to get in and out, or the lift. And that was kind of just a cursory inspection.
Shit. I'm gonna grab one of the guys working in the depot and point out the mistake with the low temp gear in the.
Are you going to cross the little zone, or are you going to go talk to the quartermaster?
I'm gonna go talk to the quartermaster, I guess.
I don't go past that zone. The sergeant kind of follows slowly behind, still kind of looking back towards the supplies that he's got, just kind of sizing up the situation. The survival clothing is for low temperature. We're going into hot temperature. Just that's correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because sergeant's wondering if there's any way we can maybe trade in some of this stuff for something else that the quartermaster may have. But yeah, it would involve us talking to him first.
I imagine that we're going to need food, Sergeant.
I completely agree, sir. Not sir. Reich. There we go.
So the sergeant's going to go talk to the quartermaster?
I think Reich headed off before me, so the sergeant's kind of had a similar idea, and he's heading off. He'll probably catch up.
All right, so the quartermaster goes, "Yes, what is it?" as you knock on his door.
I'm gonna step in and tell him there seems to have been a mistake with the equipment that.
A mistake? Let me see your paperwork.
Point the sergeant comes up conveniently behind with the paperwork in hand, of course. Still kind of puzzling over it and looking at it and looking back to the supplies as it comes through the door.
So the quartermaster takes the paperwork from you, goes over it, and goes, "What's the problem?"
You seem to have been given some survival gear. I'm not exactly sure why you have it in stock. For low temperatures, and we were told we were going to be getting some food. Pretty much.
So he looks at your list, he looks up at you, he looks at the list and goes again and says, "No, you've got everything on this list. Chimera armored transport with long-range Vox, heavy bolter and 300 rounds of ammunition, 6 demo charges, crate of 20 cold weather survival gear, survival suits, and wet weather gear."
You see, sir, we are moving over 200 kilometers, and we are going to need some food supplies, not survival gear. There seems to be a
Sergeant, it's not on the requisition order. If you have an issue with this, you can take it up with the base commandant. Otherwise, you've initiated your gear and you need to get onto your
I
mission.
grab the paperwork from him and look at it, where it says that there is cold weather gear instead of food.
Okay, go ahead and give me, what's your character's name?
Osric.
All right, Osric, give me a linguistics low Gothic test.
Blowjob.
Oi. I'm too late.
No.
They're just about to leave. Leave the base, I mean.
Just in time.
Oh god.
Here, is he with us at the moment, or will he be introduced to the squad?
He's with you. I don't really have an interest in like role playing. Like, oh hey guys, don't forget about me. He's with you.
Airdrop me.
We're in an outpost. We're in an outpost. Basically,
Catapult you into the squad.
we landed in an outpost. We've been there. We've been patched up there for 2 days. We've been there to talk to the quartermaster. We've just been briefed. We went back to talk to the quartermaster to get our chimera. Issued a mission to go to an outpost. Correct me if I get anything wrong here, Faldron. About 200 kilometers away.
250.
250 kilometers away, and secure the outpost. And the secondary objective is to see if we can find any other Imperial forces that are still alive out there. We're currently we've been given survival suits instead of food in the Chimera, and we're currently disputing it. I know, it's bullshit. If there's anything you want to do at the armory with your gear, now would be the time to do it, because we've already had the opportunity to do that. But apart from that, you're all caught up.
What am I able to do in the armor? Or is it just scavenge?
No, it's you can try and requisition new equipment or other equipment if you'd like.
You can
Dear
try and cross the
God.
line.
Armory's massive. Don't cross the line. The armory's massive. It's underground. So we've got there's a Chimera in here, and there's a bunch of other shit. It's absolutely massive. So we got a ton of potential stuff that we just can't get our hands on.
So, no stealing.
No stealing. Not yet.
But, oh.
You're an ogre. There's tons of commissars about here. You're an ogre. You should be on like high alert. We landed with multiple commissars.
I was told to get shit though.
Oh yeah, there's a quartermaster.
If I take it and you can't stop me, is it really stealing?
I mean, how attached are you to this character?
You will die. We've been sent. It's not the same mission that we played before Hojo. It's one we started again with the same characters. It's pretty much a similar sort of structure, but the outpost we've landed at is bigger and it's more secure. We've been here for 2 days.
Still contemplating stealing, hold on.
Is Hojo an Ogrin and he's gonna try and steal some stuff?
Ogrins aren't smart enough to steal things. They don't have a concept of ownership.
Yeah, so it's just mine. If I go over there and I like it, it's mine.
Disgrace the Atian name and the sergeant will slap you.
A slap an ogre.
Yeah, damn straight the sergeant will slap an ogre, and he'll remind the ogre of his duty towards the emperor and the shame he's bringing towards the 211th, his brothers who protect him, his friends. By the time the sergeant's done with him, he won't even have to slap him. He'll make the ogre cry out of shame. Oh gee, he'll be crying and saying he's sorry.
Don't make the ogre cry. Alright, I'm not gonna steal.
Alright, so the quartermaster has more or less dismissed you at this point. To him, the paperwork is in order as it was given to him. You guys are kind of
Do I have the paperwork?
I mean, you have the paperwork you took from him, yeah, which is basically a receipt for the equipment that you currently have.
And it says on it cold weather gear.
Correct.
I am going to go to the commissar I gave the low stick to
Oh, it comes full circle.
Okay, so
As Red walks away, Sergeant Varys just calls back after him. Private Reich, what exactly are you going with that paperwork?
To get us some food, sir, and I'm going to go into the recreation.
no, again, he's standing outside of the recreation tent.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to go directly to him.
Okay, so I forget. Did you go in beforehand?
Nope.
Or were you just standing outside?
Standing outside.
Okay, so you go into the rec tent and do what?
I'm gonna start chatting people up very loudly, complaining about how I've been fucked over by the supply op.
Okay, so you go into the rec tent and start loudly complaining that you were not issued the equipment that you believe is necessary to complete the job.
Yep, and I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay, so you only have one chit for one drink. They don't do any kind of trading or currency exchange here. You get like a ration, as it were.
I'm gonna ask anyone if that's happened before around here, if that's a common occurrence.
They look at you blankly, and another sergeant from the Bronte and Long Knife sort of pulls you over and goes, "Private, it's the guard. You just got to deal with what you're given, man."
But do you have to really? I mean, really?
Can't eat the Ogren if it comes down to it halfway.
Give me just a second. I got to step away real quick.
But ideally, we would like some food.
At least we have fire material if we can hunt some stuff.
I really don't think you can eat a note. You could probably kill him and slaughter him and divide up his parts, but I mean, actually eating? I don't know, boss.
Would we get our own supply of food? How is there like a? Do we go to the armory for that? Could we get all going like? Because I haven't spent any theoretical requisition because I don't know how it really works in this game.
We can actually obtain food from the field depending on where we're going.
Well, I've not bought anything, and I'm not sure if I have any cash, or how it works, but I can maybe just if we all just try to get our own food as well. At least we'd have some.
There's no cash. You roll for it.
We're gonna be able to scrounge and stuff, and I am gonna try to get food from the lounge or whatever. I'm sure that there's like packs of peanuts or something.
So Feldron, how does like just general requisitioning work in this game? Because I still don't know this sort of system. I'm only aware of like Deathwatch. Is there any way for us to get our own food?
It's been that long, huh? God damn.
So there are two separate sections to sort of logistics. The first one is your standard logistics test, which is you guys trying to just get equipment for yourselves individually. That is based off the squad logistic rating, which starts at 10, plus different modifiers depending on how rare the item is and also how well the Imperial Guard is doing in the field. Obviously, if everyone everywhere is getting butchered and you guys are losing badly, it's going to be a lot harder to get that nice piece of equipment than if you were, winning and supplies were abundant and morale was.
Okay.
The second part of that is the mission gear, which is what you guys just experienced.
Well, in our sort of light infantry gear,
so
it does include
that
4 weeks
is
ration
equipment issued for a specific mission, and then it's expected to be returned once the mission is over.
In our sort of standard light infantry gear, it does include 4 weeks ration packs.
I think that's what was replaced. I think that's the big hubbub.
Well, this is in our standard light infantry gear.
I know. And
Right.
I'm saying
What?
took that away and gave us another poor weather gear suit or environmentalist suit or whatever the hell it is.
Let's find out.
Hit me,
You are incorrect. The stuff that is in your standard regimental kit, that whole list at the bottom of the pinned messages, that is always available to you guys.
Well, at least we've got 4 weeks worth of basic rations each.
Correct.
So, and this trip, well, depending on the terrain and how it goes, and if we lose our vehicle, shouldn't take us 4 weeks. So we should be fine. But if there's anywhere we can maybe score maybe a few extra weeks to the side rations, that might help us a little bit.
Stab this guy. We can take all the food we can get.
No, this is a big base. This isn't a small base. We're in a massive place.
Go stab it, guard.
At this rate, gentlemen, I think we hold here. Varys not wanting to walk away and leave the Ogren for obvious reasons. We'll wait until Iraq gets back with the paperwork, and then we'll take it from there. Right?
I'm going to ask whoever is operating the bar in the canteen or the rec area if they also vend food there.
They do, but it's just, like you said, it's just like peanut packs and crackers, and it's just not really like a restaurant.
Yo,
How many-
luxury food.
How many peanut packs can I get?
Oh my god.
4.
I have low sticks.
You're
20
with
packs a stick.
you're with us in the armory.
You're an Ogren and you can't even count past 4.
I have this
How many
many
can I
in my
leash?
hand.
So I'm going to take the 4 peanut packs and I'm going to shove them in my pocket.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go back outside and ask the commissar, how many weeks do you think I can survive on 4 peanut?
Damn.
You're really fucking smearing that in. Offer him a cigarette.
Chances are he's not going to get us the food, but he is going to kill the guy.
The commissar looks at you, confused, and says, "Well, that depends, soldier. How hard are you willing to starve?"
Hmm.
Think it over and I say maybe a week, maybe 2.
He goes, "Oh, perfect. So you won't need a week's worth of rations then."
No!
I'm going to say, what are you talking about?
He says, "Soldier, the Emperor issues the guardsman what he is required to have. Nothing more and nothing less."
Praise the Emperor for cold weather gear, then.
So, shall we? Would you guys like to go into the jungle now?
Yes.
I mean, there's other stuff you
No.
can do.
I want to stay here in the base.
I mean, there might be barking toads in the jungle.
Sorry, Ice. What was that?
I said, when you were saying, like, the guy was talking about the jungles, I was like, what is this, Keter-chan? There's gonna be barking toads?
So, sorry, I'll let you carry on first. I'll just think of something.
So, what are your guys' next moves? You've been given a mission.
The sergeant has something he wants to.
I am waiting for just about any order.
I want to try using a skill. Okay, so there is a skill. There we go. I'm not sure if we'll be able to use this, but I'm looking to maybe use Tactica Imperialis. We've got
Saint, you still with us?
can you hear me?
I'm going to go back to the group and tell them they
yeah,
can all get
that's annoying.
packets of peanuts.
When I've got my Word document selected, my mic wasn't working, that's annoying. My bad. So I want to try and use Tactica Imperialis, if I can. It's a skill for using for devising battle plans. I'm not sure you'll allow it, but it's basically just to calculate an efficient route, involving the information we've been given. Is there any sort of obvious outpost between us and the mission objective, where we may be able to rendezvous with other forces that we're aware of, or anything along those lines?
No, as far as you're aware, it's nothing but open jungle between you and this Prometheum.
And is there no civilian installations along the way, or ex-civilian installations? Anything we can use for a road system, or is it just going to be open ground?
Like I said, it's just open jungle. At the very least, there's nothing marked on the maps that have been provided to you.
Okay. Well then, gentlemen. We may be few, but let's not do the 211th shame.
Boss, I want new Thunderstick.
New Thunderstick, eh?
Yes.
There's a big thunder stick on the Chimera.
Well, we have an autocannon there that I believe that might just be the right size for you.
Oh.
Okay, as a heads up, you can't dismount that autocannon just willy-nilly.
Damn it.
Like, it's come on, man. It's built into a turret. Like,
So it is the primary turret of the Chimera.
correct.
Okay, then you cannot have that autocannon.
Ah.
Is Reich still with the Commissar, or is he back with us now?
He's driving.
I'm back, and I'm telling you all to go get your packs of peanuts.
We've got 4 weeks of rations, soldier. I'm sure we'll manage.
Per soldier. By the way, that's
now
per
want
soldier.
peanut.
Indeed, yeah. With 4 weeks of rations each. If we take longer than 4 weeks out in that jungle, we're fucking dead.
I want peanut, boss.
We need to get this fucking ogre in. Something a little bit bigger.
Peanut.
Alright, so. Elric, you go get us some peanut. Get that bloody ogre some peanuts. Reich, if you want to go and see if you can, shit, what was the other thing?
I have
that
no
was
idea.
it, yeah, Reich, you're the weapon specialist, yeah. Reich, if you want to go talk to the Quartermaster and see if you can get this bloody ogre sorted out with something a little bit better weapon-wise. Once we're all done, rendezvous back here, and then we'll fucking get moving, because we've got no time to spare. On that note, the sergeant walks off to go get his peanuts.
I'm gonna check over the Chimera and make sure that everything is.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I'm claiming shotgun.
Oh no, Havel, you're
So-
supposed to be going to talk to the Quartermaster to get the Hojo sorted with a better gun, because we can't leave it to Hojo, he's an Ogren. You're the weapon specialist, so if you go get that, you get him sorted out, see if you can get him something fancier. And yeah, we get our peanuts. And then we meet back here.
Okay, so, Havel, what say you to the quartermaster? Give
I
me
need a
just
gun for this
second.
ogre.
Sorry, my dog's losing his mind. Just a second.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Havel, are you there? We all have the foresight skill as the light infantry for our regiment's commander.
Alright, sorry. My
So-
it was my girlfriend coming home, but my dog seems to think it's like D-Day every time.
Alright.
Yeah, so Havel, foresight. We got that from the regiment's commander. If you spend 10 minutes analysing a problem or a situation, you gain a plus 10 bonus to the next intelligence or skill test based on intelligence. Shit, it's based on intelligence. talking to the quartermaster, like that's not based on intelligence at all, or any of the requisition stuff, is it?
Nope, it's just a regular logistics test.
Okay.
Would foresight be like?
I'll post the description. But it's
I'm just
based on
wondering if
intelligence.
there's anywhere I can enter that on my sheet.
I've got a Word document with all the sort of descriptions.
So, Hojo, what kind of gun are you trying to get?
Well, if I was smart, I would try to get the autocannon, kind of all or nothing. But the heavy stubber is very flashy, and I like flashy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the stubber.
Okay, so you do have the Ripper gun as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to make sure you knew about that.
But 3 times the range is very important.
The range on that other gun you were using was really bad.
And the autocannon has 10 times range. Things start to get retarded.
An extra autocannon would be ideal. It is depending on what you can communicate to Havel, because Havel's doing the talking to the quartermaster for you, because he's our weapons specialist. So it depends what you guys convert.
Boss, big and loud. I want thunder in my hands.
All right, so
Big.
I guess I'm going to use foresight to think about how I can get this ogre in an auto.
Heavy.
It's got to be that's the thing. Foresight's got to be an intelligence based, so it won't work on this particular situation.
It's just simple logistics.
Yeah. It was me trying to pull something out of my ass, but failing. As per usual.
Logistics is based on intel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's up?
No, logic is based on intel. Logic and analysis. Knowledge, logic, and analysis. So I guess it could go under logic. I'm gonna try to get this Ogren and autocannon.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a logistics test.
Which is just a D100.
Yeah, and you're trying to get it beneath. Let me see here.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Unfortunately, just due to how the weapon is, I can tell you right now, you cannot pass this.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if you'd rather like roll for fruitless tests, but most of the time, if there's no way for you to get it, I'm just gonna tell you.
Alright, then I'll get him any kind of ogre-sized weapon that we could possibly get our hands on.
Alright. Unfortunately, that means
You know, you were issued an additional heavy bolter.
I can't use it.
Yeah,
My sergeant told me to acquire a weapon.
That was me as a DM informing you that that was issued to you.
yeah, no, the
Yeah, I know.
the Ogre can't use the heavy bolter.
Can't use it.
What is the ballistic skill on your character for the Ogren?
30. I probably shouldn't be using it anyway. But that's not the problem. The problem is the heavy bolter's not ogre approved.
Yeah, they just can't use it because he's an Ogre. Chaplain can use well, he's got a heavy bolter already.
Yeah.
So the extra heavy bolter,
It's a spare.
yeah, pretty much just a spare.
I'm going to point out to the Ogren that his Ripper gun is louder and shoots just as fast as the stuff. This is heavy Ripper.
Can we twin link it?
No. That'll kill you.
Range that
Correction.
it's range that we're lacking.
Technically, yes, but I don't think any of you are that skilled at weapons yet.
Is there any way we can just basically need more range for him?
Fine. I will ask him. Enough of this meta crap.
Wait, what are you asking him for?
I'm trying to get a heavy what was it, the auto or the heavy stubber?
The stubber.
Yeah.
All right, give me a roll. Good luck,
Here's my roll. 17.
son of a bitch. All right, well, they managed to dig out a spare heavy stubber.
Yes.
Comes with one belt loaded and an additional belt, but that's all they can afford to give you.
Grabs the low sticks in his pockets and throws them at the quartermaster before reaching for the head.
What, just like a whole pack? He just like baseball pitches a pack of cigarettes
Yeah.
at this guy?
I don't even know what they are, how many I grabbed. Just kind of chuck it at him. It works for everyone else.
Thank you.
So the quartermaster kind of blinks and picks up the pack of glow sticks and lights one and goes back into his office without saying anything as you trundle off with your new heavy stubber.
I think they, even though he might be vastly outranking him, I think even he would know not to. Not to piss off an ogre needlessly.
Take a quick look around the room for anything edible or drinkable.
Truck immediately bites the handle of his gun.
Okay. You guys are issued a month's worth of food per soldier as part of your standard kit. You're going to be fine.
4 months.
I thought I said 4
4
months.
weeks.
Oh, 4
It's
weeks.
4 weeks,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
it's
4
1
weeks. 4 weeks.
month.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And 4 packs of
Wait,
peanuts.
wait.
So we got 4 packs of
Wait.
peanuts.
Wait, no, it was 4 months. Fight! Fuck you, fight!
It's not 4 months. Let's check. I've got.
No, it's 4 weeks.
No!
I mean,
Yep.
the peanuts do extend it to about 4 months.
Yeah,
So
can,
I have
can
to-
confirm it.
I have to point out that what that means is that's expected 4 weeks nonstop activity away from the base. That's kind of like
That's fine. I don't like the quartermaster. Is there anything I can steal from his office?
okay. Is there a larceny skill?
It's a logistics test with a bonus and a mouse if you fail.
He does have scavenger as a light infantry. I'm not sure if that helps at all in this
That's true.
situation.
It's true.
Scavenge from the depot.
I'm looking for the rules in it.
Sleight of
Land
hand.
is rich
I'm looking for the rules on
resources.
scavenger now in my Word document. 1 sec.
It's like, oh, what's this, a Lehman Russ? I'll just take that.
Oi, boys, it's a wild Lehman Russ.
I was gonna say, he just comes out of the bushes. Hey guys, look what I found! It's like a Lehman Russ Vanquisher.
It's buried here in the stand.
I don't
Fucking
have
Warlord Titan just pops out of the trees.
I don't have scavenger
That's how
here.
Greed does it.
I don't have scavenger here, so someone will have to find it in the rulebook.
I've got it, hang on. By the way, there's one of the greatest characters in Warhammer 40k is Creed.
Yes, he was.
He is! The man lives!
Who's this person again?
Cadia actually wasn't destroyed. That was just a decoy.
That is official canon from now on.
Okay.
The Scavenger's under regiment, right?
Should be, yeah. If you don't mind posting it in the chat as well, so I can grab it so for future reference.
Oh, damn it. I don't have my programs anymore. I have to read it like a goddamn mongoloid. The regiment may choose to gain a +10 bonus on any logistics test. However, on any test where this bonus is used, if any doubles are whether the test was success or failure, then the scavenging and stealing attracts and wanted attention from higher authorities within the Imperial Guard or the Departamento
So we
Unitorum.
would have got a +10 for bonus on those logistic tests. If any double is rolled.
No! Do it! No!
Wait, so that means your previous roll. That means your previous roll is 17. Was only 7.
Well, no, because I wasn't taking that into consideration.
True enough.
You have to elect to use it. The idea being, if you elect to use it, and you manage to acquire it, the commissar is going to be like, "Where did you get that?" You know, people are going to be paying attention if you. I'm sorry, people are going to be paying attention if you fail it. So, i.e., like you get caught stealing or you get caught trading for kit that you're not really supposed to have.
However, there's no one looking at the moment. The guy just turned around and walked straight back in.
So, okay, sorry, maybe I didn't describe this enough. The warehouse is packed full of servo skulls, servitors, human, logistics operators, and various other bits and bobs of tech, machinery and tech priests. So, like, it's not like this is an abandoned warehouse that's dead silent. No, this place is packed and is a beehive of activity.
Let's take a servo skull.
He's gonna.
All right.
You can take the servo skull. It's recording you as you steal it and broadcasting
Just
back.
throw it in a bag and take it with us.
Just one of our servo skulls is being bagged. We can see it being tracked towards an outpost.
I guess if there's nothing to steal, I leave.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I mean, you can try.
No, it's all good, man. We're more just sort of feeling out the roles. This is for a lot of us still the first time we've played Only War, so we're kind of comparing it to Deathwatch. So there will be a lot of us kind of pushing and checking what boundaries we can stretch and whatnot.
Oh yeah, no, it's Deathwatch is like, oh yes, please take all of the valuable artifacts because you are the Emperor's chosen. Only War is, here's a sharp pointy stick, get fucked.
That's probably we've never felt like we've had to scavenge in Deathwatch. That's probably why we are trying to see what we can grab. And plus, we're a dirty, rough riding light infantry.
4 weeks of rations is not enough.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
No.
Go steal some peanuts.
So the sergeant comes back down and completely lying goes up to what's this fucking Ogren's name again?
Correct.
Kruk. Goes up to Kruk and went, "Here you go. The man and I have pulled together, and we thought we'll give you some." And he gives him 3 packets of peanuts of his own, basically bullshitting this ogre.
Handle still in mouth.
Now don't eat them all at once.
Sad.
Okay, that done. Sergeant is up and ready to go. He's up checking the Chimera and looking over shit. Just
All right, so you all are gonna be piling into the Chimera and setting out.
I don't want to go in the Chimera.
the fuck in here.
God damn!
You can man the big gun.
I have to roll for this.
He does have to roll for this, actually.
Yeah.
We're not moving. Okay, well, you fucking roll as many times as you fucking need to. When you get in that bloody car.
Is it an open turret or a closed one?
Oh, no, it's a Chimera. It's a sealed transport. It's an APC.
No matter what, it's fucking tiny. I don't do tiny.
It's not tiny. You'll get in there.
It's tiny. No.
And make sure you don't fucking break anything.
All right, you gotta roll a command skill test, Sergeant.
Oh, me?
At a
actually,
-10.
I've got a bonus for command skill rolls. That's one of the things I spent my XP on.
Right, but what I'm saying is that the modifier is a -10 because Ogrins do not like small dark spaces.
Okay, so I've got a +10 to command, so that'll cancel it. I take it.
Correct. So you just need to roll under your basic command skill.
All right. Bosh.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
The sergeant
So-
fucking slaps him and sort of pushes him in like a small, well, like a disobedient horse. You know, just get the fuck in there.
Okay, so is it? No, it's not Osric. Correct. You have a -10 to all skill checks while you are inside the Chimera.
Boss, it's not good in here. It never was.
Just sniff your peanuts and don't fucking eat them.
I can't see the peanut.
Who's driving?
I'm driving.
Shotgun.
Okay.
Sergeant,
Can-
there's a hatch in the top of a Chimera, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the,
Should be.
the sergeant is going to take up position where he's kind of able to get to that hatch quickly. So he's sitting inside, but below where the hatch is, because he's going to take that kind of position. Get me closer so I can hit him with my sword type thing.
Okay.
Ah, you get shot first.
Yup. Damn right. Varus is a badass. He's going to die.
Oh.
All right. So, someone give me. So, does anybody have operate surface?
I do.
Okay. Can you give me a roll for that?
We've also got navigate surface.
I do have navigate surface as well. And I'm going to take 10 minutes to use foresight.
Okay. So you spend 10 minutes studying
The map or whatever. Yeah.
The hand-drawn map on my back.
Sergeant kind of comes up and the sergeant starts making a copy of the map.
All right. So you get what, like a +10 bonus, right?
Yep.
But that's the navigation, not to operate.
Oh shit.
Operate is agility.
Well, his operate roll was retardedly good, so I think we're gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh no.
But we get lost.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So,
boss, we don't get stuck.
According to, as you study the map, you estimate that, due to the dense terrain and the fact that, it's heavy jungle, you're probably not going to be able to take just a straight line to it. It's going to take you about 12 hours. However, you spot what you believe to be a potential shortcut on the map. And you start, you move the Chimera into motion as you guys head out of the supply depot towards your mission. Several hours pass. There's not a lot to do. You're just kind of stuck in the Chimera, just trundling along.
Right.
Let's see. Sergeant, do you have your head out of the hatch?
I do indeed. Well, not all the time, but I'm coming up every few minutes to periodically check him. I'm being urged on a little bit by the nervous looks of my comrade, because they're always kind of like, a bit shaky. So every time and every again, I'll go up and have a look, and it seems to settle them a little bit, and I'll come back down.
Freaking the fuck out, you motherfucker!
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about my companion, but you too.
How can you put
So-
me in
And
here, man?
you fucking smell as well, so I'm just venting this smell every now and again.
Oh god.
So as you guys are driving through the jungle, from above, you suddenly hear a roar of engines and gunfire. As you look up, you see a Valkyrie assault carrier go streaking by overhead, trailing smoke and missing an engine, and traveling towards the earth. The crashing aircraft dips below the tree line, and you hear you hear the sound of distant impact. And 2 orc flyers go streaking by, having successfully shot this thing down.
Friendly's going down, gents! What sort of direction? We're bearing to the north?
So whoever's driving, give me a easy navigation test as you follow this pillar of smoke. So that's +30.
Alright.
And you also have the... you get a bonus from navigate surface on that as well. Oh no, never mind, that's a the navigate surface is a pre-skill. Pre-amateur skill.
Did they just give us this Chimera?
We gotta give it back afterwards, but yeah.
Now we need to return it.
But anything we find on the way is
In
Sweet
pieces.
Sweet Jesus. Okay.
But anything we find on the way is ours, and we just saw Valkyrie go down. Let's see what we can get, boys.
So it
Apparently
takes you-
nothing.
So it takes you an hour longer than you had originally estimated. You just find along the way, you find a sizable piece of the Valkyrie's wing. Based upon the markings, you immediately recognize it as belonging to the transport, like the starship that brought your regiment into the system. Sergeant, are you still looking out the hatch?
Damn straight I am, by the Emperor's fucking throne.
Can you give me an ordinary awareness test of +10?
Awareness
Should,
plus-
should we report it?
That's what I was thinking. 1.4. Success.
Awesome. Yeah, you're easily able to see a trail of wreckage that stretches through the jungle. Let me see here.
What sort of radio communication does this Chimera have?
Long
The
range.
Chimera's, the Chimera's been equipped with a long-range Vox, so you are within radio contact of the supply depot.
I guess
However-
as Varus sees this, I guess he would tell Chaplain to call it in if he called shotgun. Well, actually, hold off on that right now, Chaplain. What's your character's fucking name?
Krieger.
Do you want to change your name on Roll20? Because I will not remember that.
Okay.
Awesome. So we can see an obvious trail of wreckage. Gentlemen, we were given a mission objective to rendezvous with any other forces, so we don't want to miss an order, and I'm assuming we won't want to miss anything we maybe find on the way. There might be food there for one.
Food good.
I'd say we call in the incident, and if they tell us to ignore it and to head off, pretend there is some kind of interference, and we'll get on our merry old way, shall we?
So you radio in the downed Valkyrie, and you get a quick response back that instructs you to investigate the wreckage, see if there's any survivors.
Be Krieger on the response line. I did say he should. He did say he would ask him to radio it in.
What?
What? Exactly.
Sorry, what?
Varus did say to Krieger to radio it in, so it would be him responding to that.
And do I still need to act like they're static on the...
No, it was just if they said
Okay.
just say they said to ignore it. You know?
Okay. Sergeant, we need to investigate, see if there's survivors.
That's what we want to hear. You heard the man, job.
We trick him.
So it's pretty easy to follow this sort of 2-kilometer path of wreckage, and you very quickly arrive at the remainder of the downed assault carrier. As you pour through the jungle, you see, and sort of come through into this clearing, you can see 4 stormtroopers that are very badly banged up level their guns at your approaching Chimera, only to raise them, thinking that maybe it was some kind of, monstrous wildlife that was gaining on them. What would you like to do? The 4 of them are standing around the wreckage. There's a pile of dead that have been sort of neatly organized nearby, ready for pickup.
Boss, is that food?
I stay in the driver's seat and light a low stick.
The sergeant's up at the hatch, calls out to the 2 troopers. Reporting, troopers. What exactly happened here? I did see some orc flyers.
So a stormtrooper who has a bandage wrapped around half of his face, so he's only got one eye showing, lights a low stick. Says, "Well, Sergeant, we had a run-in with the Greenskins upstairs. 4 of us remain. We're all walking wounded. Unfortunately, the crew and the rest of my squad do not survive. We have no surviving Vox equipment either. We're kind of stranded out here. How far are we from local friendlies?
Too far by now. A few hours drive. I noticed the wing there of the ship that took us into the system.
I open the driver's hatch, the little window on the front of the Chimera, and I say 15 hours, and I close it.
Wait, you say what?
Say we're 15 hours away, and then I close the hatch.
Okay.
So I saw some debris back there that belonged to the ship that took us into system, troop. What? You can't be all that's left.
No. So it's the Valkyrie belongs to the transport ship.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Sorry.
I get it now. I was a little bit worried there. Okay, I get it. Well, Trooper, we're on a mission at the moment. We've been ordered to come and investigate what happened here. We'll radio in your situation and we'll tell you, and we'll give you a standing order.
He kind of looks around at the jungle and then looks at you and goes, Son, we're in the middle of a death world. I've got no supply. I've got, the only heavy weapon we've got is a melter gun with one charge left. And there's 4 of us heavily wounded. Is there any chance you could give us a lift back to base?
We have a mission. We'll radio in, but I mean, you got to understand, we were given fucking peanuts to drive 200 miles. So, in all due respect, we'll see what we can do. Krieger, call it in.
Nars. Oh my god, they should be coming with us.
Yeah.
We have space, boss.
Well, we're not exactly going to turn back around and take them back to base. If we call it in, we can tell them we'll give these 2 gentlemen a lift with us to the objective and actually put them to work. Otherwise, what are they going to do? They're going to sit back on foot. If we get told to send them back on foot, we'll just take them with us.
We can eat them, boss.
We're not eating them. So Sergeant kind of kicks down at Croc.
I just radio in. That there's 4 survivors, which are walking wounded, and that we're taking them with us.
All right, so the command acknowledges that and says that they look forward to their return. The stormtroopers themselves are really in pretty poor shape. Their sort of self-appointed leader amongst them notifies the sergeant that while they appreciate the lift, they're not going to be much use in a full-blown firefight.
I turned to Madman and said, "You think there's anything we can scavenge out?"
Of course.
I was thinking too, in fact.
What freight are they carrying?
Take their melta-gun.
Now, listen. So the Varys turns to these 2 stormtroopers once they're inside the Chimera.
4. There's 4 of them.
4. Are they inside the Chimera now?
Yeah.
Can we get them
or at
out?
least I'm assuming.
Yeah. So we get them inside. Varys closes the hatch, come back in, and sort of levels with them. He goes, right, okay. We haven't been given much supplies, as I made it excruciatingly clear. Now, you guys are in need of treatment, so you're going to need some of our drugs. Now, before we head off, is there anything at all we can that you saw that we might be able to scavenge from out there? We need everything we can get.
Do I eat them now?
Let's leave this cold weather gear here.
Yeah,
or space.
Yeah, we don't need it, but...
Give me just a second.
Use some of that cold weather gear for emergency rags. So maybe if we're going to ditch it, maybe keep some back so we can tear it off and use it.
New friend has shiny.
And it might also come in useful. Some of it might also come in useful for making some kind of shelter.
I mean, if these are
soft cover.
Soft cover, yeah, there we go. But we've got a bunch of it. We can maybe ditch a few of them for space. But yeah.
Shiny gun, really hot. Hot is good. Chimera is cold.
So the Valkyrie itself was armed with a las cannon, multiple rocket pods, and 2 sponson-mounted heavy bolters. From what you can tell, just taking a quick glance at the wreckage, You're probably not going to get much use out of the las cannon or the missile pods, but the bolter, or at least its ammo, might be salvageable.
Bing, 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 bing.
There are also the dead stormtroopers, but even your low life morals wouldn't have you picking over the bodies of the dead.
Well,
with
we
their
need
cases.
We're Attians, damn straight we will. So Varys
we need the dog tags.
Varys is gonna go for a quick piss, and he's gonna leave. He's just gonna, if something gets scavenged while I'm at the toilet, then so be it.
Take the glow sticks.
Elric's gonna go look over the bodies to see the state of the wounded, and maybe see if any of them have hotshot lasguns.
I lean back into the crew compartment and look at the stormtroopers and offer them.
You have 10 minutes, gentlemen. 10 minutes. We're not hanging around. Get what you can, then we're leaving.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, you find 2 salvageable hotshot lasguns, complete with power packs.
I'm gonna take one of those then.
You find 2. The other 2 power packs are salvageable, but the lasguns themselves are just beyond repair.
We should probably take their charge packs anyway.
Yeah, and ammo.
Anything we can get. But I'm pretty sure the Valkyrie would have a different caliber of
Heavy bolter is heavy bolter.
Yeah, a heavy bolter is a heavy bolter.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
So overall, there's a total of an additional 300 rounds you can scavenge from the Valkyrie.
I'm going to ask one of these stormtroopers. Any of you lads have any engineering capabilities
That's
on you?
650 in total.
So I'm going to ask these stormtroopers. Any of you lads have any engineering capability? Or are you guys just soldiers?
Sorry, say that again?
Do any of them have any engineering capability? Or are they just soldiers?
I mean, they're technically like special forces, but why? What were you going to ask them?
We've got a Chimera here. If there's any way we can, I don't know, fix any kind of extra armor or weaponry, or I don't know, anything we can maybe squeeze out the situation.
Let's take the Valkyrie and slap the tracks on it.
No.
The stormtroopers look at you blankly and go, well, I mean, with a machine bay and some heavy-duty tools, probably, but not here in the field.
Yeah, Varys kind of snorts and with a glance back to the rest of the unit. It seems they're not quite light infantry yet. We'll see what they're like by the end of the show. Are we all ready to go, gents? Stay in the fucking camera.
So I've taken one of the hotshot lasguns, and then 2 of the power packs from one from the one that's in the gun, and then one from one of the broken guns, I guess.
So is someone else taking the other hotshot lasgun?
My comrade will be picking up anything that's not been picked up, like the ammo and whatnot, anyway, because they were sent off to check stuff.
I can't fucking leave the Chimera.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
So who's our heavy weapons guy?
Me?
Is that Krieger?
Yeah.
So yeah, you now have an additional 600 rounds of bolter ammo.
So we had 350 from the regiment, and now 600 extra. Nice.
How much did we get from the spare bolt gun that we got with the Chimera?
So that one came with 300 rounds.
350 or 300, yeah.
So we've got what, 600 plus 600, so 1,200.
No.
900.
So he has whatever his standard issue is. Then he has 300 from the mission requirements, or the mission gear. He has an additional 300 from the Valkyrie.
Nice.
Okay.
This is retarded. Can we mount this thing on the Chimera?
No, we've just tried that.
There's already a hull mounted heavy bolter on it.
Yeah, we got spare heavy bolters.
That's why I said shotgun.
If it comes down to it, we can give one of the spare bolt guns to. No, we can't. No, we can't. Never mind. Let's just fucking roll up, gents.
So, Is the medic gonna even look at these guys, or?
Yeah, and
Bloody
once I
hopes.
get
Oh,
back
hell
in,
no!
once I get back in, Elric's gonna go check over them.
Okay, you want to give me a Medicaid roll?
Say no! Say no!
I just
They
had
died.
to get the hot. I need to get the hot shot lasgun first. That was the most important.
If they die, it's a week's ration each of them.
You got a comrade, remember? You can send off to do stuff as well.
You can't even put that together while you're cringing in the cabin.
Varys sparks up a cigarette, kind of sitting. So at this point, just to clear up, Varys is back out in the hatch, looking around, just waiting for everyone to rally up. He's just keeping an eye on things, making sure that nothing's going to sneak up on them.
Okay, Elric, there's not anything else that you can do for these guys they haven't already done to themselves in terms of first aid. And unfortunately, guys, I am going to have to call it here. I'm getting called away. I got to deal with some stuff. I apologize for the short notice.
That's alright.